other women that are going through the same situation. The stories in this book are on every single thing you could ever possibly imagine. From drug abuse to alcoholism to adultery to things that we all deal with today that's real. As much as we all like to just pack things back and hide it, there are so many people that are around us every day that are crying out inside saying, I just want to be loved. I just want to be real. I don't want somebody to gossip about me. I want somebody to really show me what it looks like to walk victoriously. And a very special story to me is about a little girl. And this little girl was raised with two parents that chose two different denominations. And there's a reason why God puts in this book, Don't Be Unequally Yoked. But this little girl was really confused because her father believes one thing and her mother believes another thing. So she was constantly confused and it caused a lot of problems in the household. And this little girl, these are her parents. She loves her parents, but nobody's getting along. And her father was an alcoholic. And when he drank, he wasn't a happy alcoholic. He was full of rage. He was mean. He was a total polar opposite when he was not drinking. So for 8 years of her life, she witnessed constant abuse, physical, verbal, emotional, plus watching her mother being beat, her brother being abused. Very sad, sad story, this little girl. Then her father died on his birthday when he was 28 in an alcoholic accident. And then the family was relieved, still sad because that was her father. But she lost a man that never told her that she was beautiful, captivating, or worth fighting for. So she missed that element of having a good, healthy male relationship in her life. And then her mother, because she was an animal mom and couldn't drive and had no freedom under that relationship, her mother went a little wild and reverted back to her teenage life and started doing things that she didn't do while she was married and started seeing a bunch of men and bringing them home and drinking and even taking her into bars at 14 years of age and saying it's okay to drink. So this lifestyle is going on and on and on, and it's not getting any better. And yeah, they're going to church, but the church thing, it's just not working. And the people's watching all this thing, and hey, on Sundays and Wednesdays, we go and we hear this one thing, and then we come home and it's a whole another, what's real? Is there really a God out there? Then her mother decides to commit suicide when she's 16. In the religious family, they don't want anything to do with them because, you know, they're the ones that drink and they're out doing that and, you know, can't have that. You gotta just cut them off. And there's these two children trying to grow up and on their own. They're orphans. So their life continues to take two different paths. The young girl seeks out drugs, alcohol, anything to kill the pain of the loss of a parent. The only person that said ever loved her. And anybody that told her that they loved her, she associated abandonment with love. Well, you know, the only person ever told that girl that loved her chose to leave her. So how do we believe in that word love? She turned on God. She decided, if you're really out there, you're mean. I might as well go run with the other guy. And made some really, really bad choices. And her life just began to tumble. Until she was 30 years of age, she decided, although she had a career in radio, a career in advertising, a career that the world would look at and glorified and really up there making over $100,000 income and hanging out with the power players, that would fill that void. But all it did was leave a bigger hole of emptiness without that spiritual fulfillment. Well, what happened was she ran into a friend that she worked with, that was her mentor, that loved her, that told her the truth. And on one day, looked at her in her eyes while she was crying and said, I can no longer associate with you because I want you to kill yourself. And I really love you, and I can't watch you die. So if you don't change your lifestyle and get some help, then I'm just going to have to cut this friendship off because I really love you. What happened was that girl loved that woman more than she loved herself at that time, but heeded her advice and was dropped off at an AA meeting. They talked about a higher power, and you could choose whatever higher power you wanted. But there were many there that were walking victoriously that said that their higher power was Jesus Christ. So this little girl tried all the Tony Robbins and all those, you know, yoga people and all this meditation stuff. I mean, she tried everything because, you know, that God stuff didn't work when she was growing up. So that was her last effort. So she was trying all that other stuff out there. None of it still worked. It would work temporarily, like that big pump up that you get of getting your adrenaline running, but nothing lasted. And because it never lasted, she decided to give up. She thought it was time to just call it quits. So after one night, she just decided it was over. She was going to kill herself. She dropped down to her knees, totally broken, and just lifted her hands up and said, God, if you are really, really there, I need you to save me now. Well, that little girl and woman was me. And I'm happy to tell you that he showed up. I found a church. I found mentors. I found people who are really walking and talking and living it that are far from being perfect, but they're real. If they mess up, they say, I mess up. If they do a good job, they say it's the power of Him that did it for me. And because of their testimonies, I felt empowered that I need to go out and share my testimonies. I've been blessed to be married to an incredible man of God for 15 years. We have a beautiful little boy. I broke every generational curse of alcoholism and all that because of the blood of Jesus. And I have stories that are proof of women that you all know. You have somebody in your life that right now is fighting depression. You have somebody right now that's walking through a domestic relationship, possible divorce. A lot of homosexuality going on right now, a lot of pornography issues, because it's just the truth. And as the world continues to fall apart around us, we do have hope. I know how it ends. I read the book of Revelation, and I believe that. But these books are living testimonies of people that have been in His Spirit to encourage other people to say, if it can work for me, it can work for you. And that's the gift of love, unconditional love. And it's a blessing, since this book has been published, the numerous emails and the numerous people that have told me when they're done reading this, they pass it on to somebody else. And that's what I ask you to do today. Think of somebody that could benefit from a story to encourage them to not give up, to keep moving, keep doing the right thing, and to trust in God. And then ask them when they're done, as they read this book, who God puts on their heart, and pass it along until it's so tattered that the pages are falling out. This book is a gift back to my recovery and to my life, because if God can do it for me, He can do it for anybody. And when you get to know me better, you'll say, oh yeah. Or maybe you'll read it and say, wow, I'm really glad I'm not her. Either way, it's a blessing. And I want to thank you so much for allowing me to come and share my testimony and to encourage you all today to continue what you're doing to help others and these children. I love being part of the Boys and Girls Club. You know, we never know what's going on behind closed doors, anywhere we're at, whether at work or at mentoring or at school as a school teacher. But the key here is the kids and even the older adults need you. And I applaud the Kiwanis. You're an active group. You mean what you say. And it truly is an honor for me to be here today. If you're interested in a book, they're over here. My hospitality director, Margaret, has actually gift wraps if you'd like to give one as a gift. They're $10 each. The proceeds go to the moms, to the Murray Chaplain Jail, and to other institutions where we can give these people hope. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosemary. I think all of us in the room today would acknowledge that it takes great strength and great courage to be able to put your story in writing and stand before us today and tell your story. And particularly to be able to summarize the stories of so many other ladies. I understand that Rosemary is looking for the men now. Her next book, I think, will be focused on the men and the stories that they have in their lives to try to help encourage other men. So if you have any ideas that you might share with Rosemary, some examples of men that would be good to be included in her next book, I know she would love to talk with you. Again, reminder that Boys and Girls Committee will meet just for 1 minute right here in front of the flag.